Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and this is the all-new Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. I actually purchased this myself. It was not sent to me by Google or Team Pixel, and this comes in at $1,099 and goes up to $1,549. It has a 128 gigabyte variant, 256, which this one actually is, as you can see here, and it's in the color Obsidian. We go up to 512 or 1 terabyte options as well. Now this comes in not only obsidian, but comes in porcelain, rose quartz, hazel, and then again, this color. Now, the one thing that's new about the packaging this year is it's fully recyclable. So it's sort of a paper packaging instead of plastic that they've used before. Let's go ahead and open it up here. So we've got these pull tabs here. There we go. That's removed. Let's go ahead and see if we can slide this out the side here. So it slides out like this. There we are. Let's go ahead and open this up. Now this is the first time seeing it. So you can see in the box, we have the Pixel here, and then we have a little bit of paperwork, it looks like. So if we remove that, pull this out here, nothing in there. And then we have a little support pamphlet with a warranty card, and then our little SIM card ejector tool. It looks like that's all we get here. And then in the box here, of course, we have the Pixel, and it looks like we have the cable behind it. It comes with USB-C to USB-C. So it's just your standard cable. It's not braided or anything like that, but it's the typical Pixel cable, just wrapped a little bit differently than we've seen before. Let's go ahead and put this away. Now let's go ahead and open this up. Again, it's the first time seeing it, so it's got some placement of different buttons and things on here. Let's see how we can remove this. So here is the Pixel itself. Now this definitely feels more premium than the previous years. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment, but the overall size and weight, it's 7.8 ounces or 0.22 kilograms, and it has USB-C 3.2. You'll see on the bottom here, we have a SIM card tray. So let's go ahead and pop that out. Take a look. We don't have expandable storage, but we should have a nano SIM as well as an internal eSIM with this. So you've just got the SIM card tray, and that's it. So on the bottom, it's typical Pixel. We've got what looks to be a speaker, a microphone, and USB-C. On the left-hand side, there's nothing there. On the top, it looks like we've got our millimeter wave antenna with another microphone and an antenna line. And then on the right-hand side, we've got a power sleep wake button, a volume button, and then again, another antenna line. On the back, of course, we have this matte finished glass, and then of course our camera bump. So you can see how thick that is here. Now, as far as the display goes, before we turn it on and set it up, this is a 6.8-inch display, 1,344 by 2,992. It's an LTPO OLED display at 486 pixels per inch. It's capable of 120 Hertz. It has Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 and up to 2,000 nits of HDR and up to 3,000 nits peak brightness outside. It also has a new ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. As far as a size comparison, here is the Pixel 8 XL. So you can see that here on the left, very similar size, but definitely different looking. As far as the thickness, again, from a top-down perspective, you can see what it looks like. Definitely a little bit different there, but not too much as far as the overall size. So everything else is very similar. They removed the SIM card tray from the side and put it on the bottom. And compared with an iPhone, here is a 15 Pro Max side by side. So this gives you an idea. It looks like it's slightly taller. So you'll see there. As far as the thickness, definitely maybe a little bit thicker due to the camera bump. And then the overall size, again, slightly taller there, but not too much of a difference. They both feel very premium and are both high-end feeling. I actually really like the look of this Pixel. Now let's go ahead and turn it on for the first time. So we'll hold down the power sleep wake button, see if it's charged at all. There we go. It gave a little haptic feedback or vibration, and then it turned on. Now this should include, you'll see that we had a little Gemini logo there. It should include Android 14 to start, and it has some really nice software features built in we'll take a look at in a little bit. Now, as far as battery life, as this is booting up, it should have a 24-hour battery life with a 5,060 milliamp hour battery or a minimum of 4,942 milliamp hours according to Google. It has fast charging up to 70% in 30 minutes using Google's new 45-watt USB-C charger. It also has Qi wireless charging, but not Qi 2 for some reason. Of course, we have Google's Tensor G4, 16 gigs of RAM, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.3, and an ultra-wideband sensor. It now says welcome to your Pixel with a nice animation. We'll tap get started, and we'll set up with a Pixel or Android device. This will just make it a little easier here. So we'll go on the S24 Ultra that I have right here, and then we'll scan the QR code. There we go. And it says set up. So we'll go ahead and get this set up. It says it's connecting. Give it just a moment here. Again, we'll scan nice and fast. Then I have to put in my PIN verifying it's me. All the copying is complete. So let's go ahead and tap done. Now it says getting your phone ready. This may take a few minutes. So that didn't take long. Swipe up, go home. It even has the original lock screen on the S24 Ultra. So that's nice. And you can see what it looks like. So pretty standard, just like we have here. And if we go into the Assistant, you'll see this is actually Google Assistant. But we should be able to go into Gemini. Let's see if we have a bunch of different updates because this is going to take a little bit. And while it's doing all of that, let's go ahead and go in and see what version we've got. So under Software Update, you'll see it has the July 5th update. And it says there's a security update available. So let me get all of this installed and then we'll continue. Everything's done updating. We have the latest system update from August 5th and all of the apps have been updated as well. So lots of different updates, everything's ready to go. And during that process, I thought I'd talk about the overall heat of the new Tensor 4 processor, G4, where it did get a little bit warm on the sides as well, but it has a new sort of vapor chamber that should really help with that. Many people have been testing it and I thought I'd show you that with a thermal camera just to show you what it looks like. So here's what the overall thermal signature looks like, around 34 to 35 degrees Celsius in the hottest point. So overall, it looks like it's dissipating that heat. You'll see some of it's going out of the rails itself. Many people have wondered about PWM on the display, the way it controls brightness by flickering faster or slower. So if we turn it up to about halfway, let's see what it looks like at 240 frames per second. The overall PWM rate seems to be pretty high as we can't really pick it up at 240 frames per second, so you don't see the screen flickering. That means they've probably bumped the rate up, just like the S24 Ultra and the 15 Pro Max, meaning that it shouldn't bother your eyes as much, cause eye strain or headaches, or even some people feel nauseated. So this should hopefully help with that, and I'll have to try it out. Now, as far as the software that's built in, well, first let's take a look at the wallpaper here. So we'll go to Wallpaper and Style, More Wallpaper, and then we've got Swirling Petals. These are pretty much available on other devices as well. So let's go into that, set the wallpaper, give it just a moment. And there we go. That's changed. And now built in, of course, we have Google Assistant, and Gemini isn't coming up on its own for some reason. So many people were saying if you just go right into here, you'll get Gemini. And while I do have it installed, we can go into Google Gemini. It's not the main assistant here. So I'll probably have to change that later in the settings if I want to use it that way. Also, we have additional features built in. So if we scroll down, you'll see we have the new Screenshots app. So if we go into that, it's gathering data and sort of organizing everything, but it's taking a moment to sort of figure everything out. And then I'll be able to search these in the future. I think this will be super helpful for what I use this for. Additionally, if we go in, we've got Pixel Studio. And so this is the main one. I had to download a model for it. So if we want to create, we can create something here. So let's create a Porsche 911 on a road overlooking a mountain on the coastline. Let's see what it does here. And it's got a classic Porsche 911. Just like I said, it's not a real image and completely strange that it could just generate it that fast. Let's try my own photo here. So here's one of my other photos. Let's see if we can maybe change the sky here. We'll just outline it, see what we can do. There we go. And it changed the background all by itself, completely by just running my finger over it. Let's see what it does here. So that's pretty crazy. It's changing the background just on the fly. We can go back and go back to what it originally looked like. So again, something completely different that we have seen in some other image generation tools. But again, I really wish there was a label on this where it would tell you that this isn't real. So you've got different options here, retro video games, things like that, and you can create whatever you'd like. Let's try one more. A wallpaper with a mountain in the background with a lake at the bottom in the valley. And there we go. It created that all on its own. Then we can download it and it's exported to the device. So I'll link this in the description if you want to check this one out. Now, as far as other features in here, well, of course, the camera is a big deal this year. The camera has a larger forward-facing camera with a 42 megapixel camera and a wider angle of view. So if we go into this, spin it around here, and we've got camera shortcuts it's talking about. So let's get out of this, spin it around. There we go. It's ultra wide if we want to. Zoom in a little bit, and then spin it around the other way. So it takes a second to do that, but again, it's 42 megapixels and should be much better. Again, I'll have to test it out a little bit later. Another thing we have, of course, is updated rear cameras. So we have a camera bar that has, well, sort of updated in the sense that they should be better at gathering light, but we have a 50 megapixel wide f1.68, an ultra wide 48 megapixel f1.7, and a telephoto 48 megapixel f2.8 with 5 times optical zoom up to 30x super res zoom. We have laser autofocus. We have 8K video with video boost, macro, 10-bit HDR, slow-mo up to 240 frames per second, and they've still included the temperature sensor, where you can now actually monitor your temperature of yourself, where you couldn't really do that before, or it wouldn't give you an accurate reading. So we have all of these different features here, and one of the new ones is called Add Me. This allows you to take a photo when you're not actually in the photo. So you take a first photo, then you take a second one while someone else is there. However, this is something I don't know that I'll ever use because typically if I'm someplace I want a family photo of, we'll just ask someone to take the photo for us. But I'll definitely try it out before I actually do a full review or a comparison. It should also have updated video this time around where it wasn't that clear before, and it's something that I personally would never use this. I'll typically switch to an iPhone for that sort of footage. I definitely want to try this out and see how good it is, maybe for the review as well. Additionally, we have IP68 support, so dust and water resistance, as well as 7 years of OS security and pixel drop updates. So that's something that all of the latest Pixel devices get. So this is one of my favorite looking Android devices, maybe because it's similar to an iPhone, but adds its own unique touch. It definitely seems to pick up some fingerprints on the back, but I really like this device overall. So I'll take some time getting used to trying it out, and let's check the fingerprint temperature sensor here. Let's see if we can do that. There's the thermometer. We'll allow access to the sensor. And let's try it here, body temperature. So it says connect thermometer to other apps. We've got Fitbit if you want to use that. And then you've got body temperature. So let's try it out. So we'll tap next. It says identify the sensor on the back. So it's right there. So it shows you how to scan. So we'll give that a try. That's actually how the temperature sensor I have at home works anyway. So let's see how this works. So I just scanned it and it says 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit. That seems pretty accurate. 98.6 is typical, so that's pretty nice. So that's built in if you want to use that as a temperature or a thermometer. So I'll continue to use this for a few days, maybe do a comparison. I'm really looking forward to using this as my main phone for a little bit. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below, but it feels super premium overall. And of course, I'll try Gemini and Gemini Live and all of those things and see how it works out. Let me know what you're most interested in as far as this device goes in the comments below. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, I'll link that wallpaper in the description. If you haven't subscribed already, though, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.